are incredibly welcome to the mystery spread for this week, and I've done a very simple mystery spread, and you can choose card number 1, 2 or 3. Sometimes you might want to choose more than one card. That is perfectly okay. Allow your intuition to guide you. I always find sometimes you'll feel a pull or a draw, and we will move to our card now. Let's have a look at card number 1. Card number 1 is the Innocence card, and it's also about a time where you felt as if you were much more trusting of the universe, trusting of its plan. Life had not affected you in a way where you felt you had become quite cynical. You may be feeling a little bit disillusioned at the moment, disconnected, and wondering how you can get that gorgeous optimism back. You may have had things happen to you over the last year that has really affected your belief in the goodness of the human spirit. And so this card today is a reminder that hope is not lost, that within you, your inner child is full of innocence and optimism and joy. This is your reminder to connect with your inner child. Really important that you make time for play. Too often we are looking to get value out of things and reason, and we fill our lives full of obligation. And we leave very little room for playtime, for joy, for imagination, creativity, the simple act of painting or playing. If you ever look at a child, there is no reason for their play. They play simply because they're happy. There's no end result, so to speak. And the more we become adults, the more we become very target driven and orientated around results. So your reminder today is to connect with that gorgeous inner child, and it could be something really sweet or simple as having an ice cream or swinging on swings or hopping on a trampoline, just to remind you of that fun. Or it could be something much more profound, that you may wish to connect to an old hobby or childhood friends, visit a place you once used to love as a child, or even telling your own children stories of your childhood that can reignite those love, or teaching them the games you used to play, and just not looking at the clock, simply immersing yourself in a task. And it's really important because the Innocence card is about hope, it's about joy, and really where your true self is. So if you've been feeling slightly overwhelmed and disconnected from the self, the quickest way back is to connect with your inner child and know that by making space and time for you, this will literally help you on your pathway. There's an old Buddhist proverb that states, if one can't meditate for 15 minutes, you should meditate for an hour, meaning you're in serious trouble if you can't find 15 minutes out of your day for yourself. So it's a warning here, but it's also guidance that it's time you need to step out of the rat race and connect with yourself. Card number 2 is all about daydreaming, and what I love about this fairy card, and it just makes me laugh, she is just miles away. She is dilly daydream. Her mind is lost in thoughts and daydreams, and you wonder what is really going on in her head. And a lot of people think daydreaming is a waste of time. It's actually not. You're manifesting and you're thinking of the things you'd love to happen, best case scenarios, happy daydreams, things that fill your heart up with joy. It could be a holiday that you really enjoyed and you're thinking back to that memory, or you could be imagining yourself on a beautiful yacht. And all these things are good because they lift our hearts up out of the doldrums and drudgery of normal life. So creative daydreaming is all about manifesting, and it's very much about setting our intentions out to the universe. So you could be dreaming of a lotto win, and what would you do with all that money, and where would you go on holiday? But the first question I'll ask is, did you buy a ticket? So many people dream about winning the lotto and they haven't bought a ticket. So what steps can you do that are really small but can actually help you manifest? Have you entered competitions? Have you done other things that are, putting your options out a bit more? And this could be as well, you could be dreaming of the perfect job. Well, have you put your CV around? Are you looking? And also going back to relationships, if you're dreaming of the perfect man or woman or partner, this is very much about what are you doing and working on for yourself to make yourself the best version of yourself. Are you working on improving aspects of self-love around yourself, aspects of trust? Are you putting yourself out there? Are you on dating websites? Are you joining up with hobbies or volunteering in charities? So creative dreaming is very good because it's also a way that you can mull things over in your head. If it sits with you, resonates with you, if you can visualize yourself doing something, that's a really good sign. It means that your intuition is telling you you need to follow up on that. And it also just makes you smile. Silly little daydreams are lovely and they're good for the soul. They're harmless, but there's something lovely and fluffy and trivial you need to be doing this week. And it could be something playful. It could be something that just makes you smile. Do something like a jigsaw or dance around to your music, but definitely something that just makes you happy for just the sake of being happy. We all need a little bit of silliness, and we can get that sometimes from watching some real funny films like Monty Python films or The Vicar of Dibley. I absolutely adore. So anything that goofiness, I think it's a really important aspect. I don't feel that should ever be overlooked because it gives us our sense of flexibility, playfulness and enthusiasm in life. So connect with that this week and pay attention to those daydreams as they could be guiding you to something. Card number 3 is Beauty and the Beast, and this gorgeous card is all about how we view love and how we can be very punishing on ourselves in terms of image, etc. You look on any social media account nowadays, you have these perfect Instagram filters. There's filters everywhere, and so often that we use filters in our everyday life to project how we come across, and we don't really like to see the ugly side or the shadow side, and we all have the shadow side within us. All of us are light and dark. There's no such thing as being all light. We have to have shadow in our lives, and I find sometimes in certain spiritual belief systems they don't like to embrace their shadow. They like to see it as sinful, shameful or wrong, and I think this is very, very wrong, because within us is the beauty and the beast, and this is what this card is about. It's about having love, unconditional love for your shadow side as well. Our shadows tell us really interesting facts about ourselves, or give us major insights into who we are as people. So if you're feeling jealous, if you're begrudging, if there's anger with you, irritation, there's a reason beneath that. There's something there that you're being told that you need to look into further. Jealousy can sometimes come from a place of lack. It can come from a place of sorrow and anguish. Anger can come from a place of fear. And, sometimes we can say, oh, well, for them, they had it all handed to them. Well, that is also a bit of the green-eyed monster, and it's dismissive of somebody else's success. And we all have that ability. None of us are Snow White. So really important here to look at your shadow this week, because it's trying to teach you something. That irritation, there's a reason behind it. There's something going untapped. Don't run from it. We all try and run from our shadow from time to time. We try and self-medicate, whether it be through drink, food, drugs, etc. And we try and deny what is going on within us, and it may be to look at that. Comfort eating can be feeling a lack of love for ourselves. It can be loneliness, it can be boredom, it can be avoidance as well. Drinking is trying to numb the pain. So again, if it's a more serious problem, definitely check in with a therapist or share a problem with a friend. You may need to verbalize and vocalize this week. You may need to actually say to someone around you, when you do this, it makes me feel like this, or the story I'm telling myself in my head about this right now is X, Y, and Z, and see what your loved one's reaction or colleague's reaction is when you explain to them how you're feeling or your thoughts are running away with you with a particular situation. I find it's very important to integrate our shadow. Our shadow is part of us. It's a very important aspect of who we are. And the more we can acknowledge and work with our shadow, the more we can really move our way towards wholeness through fully integrating the light and the dark aspects. There is nothing to be ashamed or fear or hide from your shadow. It's trying to teach you. So it's time that you listened. Have a fantastic week.